Nextplz. Calls you home. Calls you home. Calls you home.
So Lindsey, you've just released your new album that is called Brave Enough. Why did you choose to call it this way?
Yes, I called it Brave Enough because the album is written about having the courage to open your heart and having and I guess the bravery that it takes to be vulnerable, because that's really scary. And so I was basically writing about my experience and my journey and learning to be brave enough to open myself up.
Mm-hmm. And what are the differences between this album and the other albums that you have already made?
I think this is a much more emotional album than any of the other albums I've created. You know, I had a very specific, kind of theme that I was writing about rather than just writing songs. I was writing, thematically about this idea of being bravery. And I lost my best friend. He passed away right at about the time I started writing the album. And, my dad got sick, and I was just dealing with a lot of emotions that made me very scared. And so, this album really is about my experience in overcoming some of these losses and these heartaches, and so it's much more emotional than my other albums.
Oh, really interesting, Lindsey, really interesting. Do you have maybe like a special thought or feeling that you want to share with us about your fans, the millions of people that follow your journey?
I've gotten some really personal letters or notes from people at meet and greet saying that they deal with some of the same things that I've dealt with in the past. My music gives them courage. Or recently, we cried together at a meet and greet when she shared with me that her father had just passed away, and she knew what it was like to lose someone. And really emotional moments. And I think that's one of the amazing things when you open yourself up and you share yourself with people. It allows you to connect on such a deeper level than you ever would be able to if, it was just like, oh, I like your music,
Oh, sweet. Very touching story. And can you tell us more now about Pete's Dragon, about, your journey with Disney? How did you end up recording a song for them?
Disney reached out and asked if I'd be interested to try to write a song for the movie, and they had me come in with and watch the film, so I got to see an early version of the film, and then after I saw the early version of the film, that day I went and with Andrew McMahon, and we wrote the song. So, and it wasn't a guarantee that Disney would take it, but when we sent it to them, they really liked it and ended up using it. Was it one of your goals to collaborate with the movie industry? Absolutely. I've always wanted to write for film. I've always thought film music was beautiful. And, even when I make my little music videos, I like to think of them as mini films. And so I'm very interested in film. I actually went to film school even. Oh, and so, the idea of writing for film has always been something I wanted to do. And what are your upcoming projects, Lindsey? Can you tell us more about those? So right now I'm working on the upcoming tour. We're actually doing some festivals in Europe here right now, but I'm also in the middle of all this. I'm still planning the new show and learning it and finishing the videos for it. And so we start a U.S., a world tour in, 2 weeks. And we'll be touring. I'll also be working on some new music videos. And that's my big focus right now.
Nextplz.